Hello and welcome to CRS and Commentary. Your host Cedric and Cedra, talking about our thoughts on New Japan Pro Wrestling, working with All Elite Wrestling. And yeah, it's been a while because there just to us haven't been anything to talk about. Not really. That's why we always, we ask you, hey, what's on your mind? What you want us to talk about? That'll help content because in my mind everything else is being covered, and then to look at all the other shows just to talk about how bad they are, that's just a waste of time.
It's a lot of energy.
There's a lot of energy to go into that. If you wonder what's up with my voice, it's because I'm not sick like COVID-19, no, or any other four strands out there, no. This was sort of self-induced. It's a supplement. Shit. My hand is bruised, so grabbing stuff is just hard. Serapeptase, and we're taking like the maximum amount, I think, 260,000 SPU, and that taking one for me and her, she's fine, no issues. But when it came to me, over the course of 5-6 days, it started getting. I got nauseous, and then bumped it up to 2. Trying to get more power out of it, and because there's a bunch of benefits to this stuff, a lot, and one of them I was getting, and I miss it already. But then I had violent projectile vomiting because of it. Whatever was going on, the food wasn't going down, the stomach sphincter was shut, I suppose. It was just sick feeling, and I had like a lot of beans and weenies. I had other stuff, had food from Biscuitville, all that stuff. Townhouse crackers, it slowly came up one by damn one. Nothing got digested. It just came up. Some of it just straight dry. And then fluid started coming up. So it was just brutal. It was brutal for hours and hours.
But at the time, we didn't know that it was that did it.
Didn't know. And that tore up my larynx. It was terrible. And then calmed down from it. It took a few days to calm down from it. So, okay, let's try it again. Instead of 2, because that's crazy, let's do 1. So I did 1 on an empty stomach, as usual, as I did following instructions. And the vomiting started again, except it didn't take hours, and it didn't take almost a full night and quarter of a day like last time. This was over just the course of half a day.
Half a day? You took it, and an hour later you were vomiting.
No, I'm talking about how long the vomiting lasted.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, from this, I talked about this on my other channel, Comparative Reasoning, and further in better detail from this. But what I didn't include that I'm putting up here is the fact that from this, dehydration was epic. And right now, suffering from a bruised hand, that the clenching and retching, my hand is bruised, parts of my arms are bruised, the left side of my jaw is bruised, at the hinge, going up towards the back side of the eye, towards your sideburns. That's bruised. It's not so bruised now. It was so messed up yesterday. It was almost hard to open my mouth. So, getting better though. Okay, so that's the update on my sickness. But yeah, seriously though, if there are things you want me to talk about, even if it's something bad, I'm gonna talk about it. You're my fans. You view me, you listen to me, and the best way to show my appreciation is to talk about the things that matter to you when it comes to the world of wrestling. What's your thoughts on this or your thoughts on that? A move, an antic, something you saw on Twitter or something like that. I'm going to try doing this and see where it go. All right. And if you can, help spread the love, share me somewhere where you go on social media, tell your friends about it. I would really love to do more than simulate games and commentate over it. I would really love to do more than that. So let's get into the whole meat of this. All right. Cedra got the ball on this one mainly. She's the one that told me about it.
So since AEW got started, there's always been this looming threat for some, desire for others for AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling to get together and I guess trade wrestlers. But nothing really came out of it. Back sometime during 2020, New Japan Pro Wrestling's, I don't know if he was the president or CEO, but Harold Meiji, he was, I think, Dutch. He got pushed out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I believe one of the reasons given was to save money, but I'm sure there's a lot more going on about it. And so after that happened, there was more little thumbnails popping up here and there about New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW. So New Japan Strong started, I guess, June or July of 2020. And they had the tournament, and Kenta won the briefcase, which entitles him to a match for IWGP US title. Okay, so Jon Moxley has the IWGP US title. He's had it forever. He hasn't wrestled for, of course, it's a pandemic. And that's just the way it was. You know, basically they fucked this belt and it's stuck on this dude wrestling at a fucked up show. That's how I feel about it, because AEW sucks. But Kenta's walking around with his briefcase, so I'm like, okay, at some point, is he going to wrestle Jon Moxley? How is he going to get bent to Japan to do this? They're going to strip him of the belt? They should have stripped him of the belt, but they didn't. Okay. Fast forward.
They threatened to strip Naito of that
They
belt.
did. They threatened to strip Naito of his 2 belts.
And that was pandemic. Everyone had to be locked away. Everyone had to be. And they're gonna keep going. We'll get into all this.
So, fast forward, and apparently they've come to some sort of a deal or arrangement, because it seemed like it's the only way they were going to get the Jon Moxley is for New Japan and AEW to come to an agreement. And so Kenta showed up on Dynamite and put the go to sleep on Moxley, and there you go. Now Moxley cut some promo somewhere at Wrestle Kingdom saying he's going to be a part of New Japan for a long time and nobody can say different, yada yada, you know, his same bullshit rhetoric. So that's it. New Japan and AEW are a thing. Moxley and Kenta are supposed to wrestle for the belt, I think, later this month. Maybe they'll do more after that, the 2 promotions, maybe not, I don't know. But it fucking sucks.
You done?
Yep.
Okay. Now let's get into the heart and soul of this. New Japan Pro Wrestling, yeah, they have, for the past year and a half, they have had this schizophrenic storyline wrestling booking that makes no sense. You know, these people are upset with these people, but it's for nothing. Okay? When I say for nothing, I ain't talking about a belt. It's not about who's better. It's not about, we got to rectify this issue. You know, beat you until you give up or something. It's never that. It's just some random, we keep going against the same old people. It's a format of boredom. And it's hard to watch a company where you see the same shit over and over and over. It is hard. All right? That's some difficult shit to deal with. Hey, they're wrestling again. Next week, hey, they're wrestling again. Hey, they're wrestling again, but it's an extra person in the tag match.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they're wrestling again. The same shit, but the opponent has like a manager. Great. Hey, it's the same one again, except now it's a regular tag match. Okay. You get tired of that.
If you haven't noticed, we stopped watching after G1.
Got bored. Literally got bored.
Ring of Honor is far more interesting.
Ring of Honor got some goodness, but we're not talking about them right now. We can gush over them later. But think about this, okay? New Japan, you know, one of the heart and soul companies of Japan. Okay, Japan, be more precise. I mean, Do you know what they've gone through since last year to curb this pandemic? You know what they've gone through? They went through a serious, respectable lockdown. They reduced the spread of it to the point where it was almost gone. I don't know what happened. I think Japan started doing more trades per se, going out of country. And that's not smart. That's not smart. Japan's, COVID cases started going up a little bit. But just think about this. Now they want to go and do business with All Elite Wrestling here in the United States of America, where within 10 months, 1% of the entire population is dead.
Let me jump in. Kenta lives in Florida.
The anus of COVID.
Kenta's home is in Florida. So him wrestling Moxley here makes sense. It's going to be far more doable because
it's doable
because his home is here. It's not like Tanahashi's going to be flying here for something. No, because he got the quarantine when he go back. So yeah, go ahead.
Still, New Japan Strong. I think that all takes place here.
Yeah, all takes place here.
Kenta has been to New Japan. He's been to Japan, and he's come back. I would not risk my life for a belt that has no meaning, no heritage, no history. Fuck that. That belt means so much. They let it leave Japan. That belt means so much. It's never the International World Grand Prix United States of America heavyweight title has not been defended in the United States. That's stupid. If anything, Moxley should have been holding that belt, carrying it around, showing that it's legit, defending it here and there, winning, but defending it. That's what he should have been doing. Keeping the belt alive. But now you want to do business in a company where people can't show up because they got COVID from wrestling people in the company that got COVID because they want to be like Chris Jericho. Just think about that. I would not do business. I would not risk my talent's health. I would not. Luckily, in CR Fire Pro, we've got Daigo Schuster hotels. Yeah, fictional, but we're not going out and spreading it. We've got a quarantine house. Make the stuff up is what we do. New Japan, you know what they got? Keep your ass at home.
Here's my prediction.
I'd have been like, hey, Kenta, what? Come home, fuck that belt. We don't. Just like when Kurt Angle disgraced the belt, they said we don't recognize that title. Fuck him even having it. And they moved on. And it took a while before they put Kurt Angle back on that billboard when they showed the past heavyweight title holders. It took a little bit to put Kurt back up there. I'm just saying, I wouldn't do this. There is nothing from a Mark's point of view, okay? An intelligent Mark. I'm talking about the one that says, hey, I'm wrapped up in this 100% and I hate that wrestler. And then that intelligent Mark says, wait a minute, why would you do business with them? Because they're sick over there. Japan, you're doing all right. Don't come over here where it's all fucked up. 1% of the population is dead because no one takes this serious. What do you think is going to happen to your talent if you send them here?
And see, here's the thing. As far as this partnership is concerned, based on what I read, it only seems to be surrounding this title.
And I hope it stays that way.
Now, because they kept trying to say maybe or hopefully is what the article was saying. AEW and New Japan will have things coming in the future, quote unquote, after the pandemic. So I think this is about getting the IWGP US belt off the fucking shelf. I think what's going to happen is Kenta's going to win it and then go back to Japan.
Kenta win it, go to Japan and stay quarantined for a month. That's how long you got to be quarantined, because you don't know which version of this virus you got. And guess what? Guess where the second version mutated? Florida. The first was in California. Next was Florida. That's what happened. And oh my goodness, this is just mind-boggling. Because, you know, your brain just squeezes like it can fit in a bottle with this level of stupidity. I just would not do this. I would not have a word. Okay, now let's just remove this. Let's remove the whole COVID and everything. As kind of jacked up New Japan Pro Wrestling is, it's still a billion leagues over AEW. I would not have a working relation with a company partly owned and ran by somebody that tried to embarrass my world title, that's Kenny Omega, as well as a company that has zero safety precautions. Jericho got COVID back in September of 2020, and he was still on the show wrestling. I remember that. He was still wrestling. He was on commentary. He wasn't wearing a mask. That level of disrespect and irresponsibility is something that I would not work with. I would leave that alone. That is business rejection right there. What do y'all think? Because I wouldn't want to work with somebody that doesn't give a damn about, you know, at the time, 320,000 deaths. All right. 320,000. That was when the U.S. hit that 1%. It's now over 400,000. It was 390,000 in early January of 2021. And it's gone up since. I'd have been like, we don't have to worry about that belt box. You can just put it on your shelf, man. I don't even care. Kid, to bring your ass home. We're going to quarantine you for a month. You know, and if you try to get out of quarantine, we'll just shoot you in your damn Florida-ridden ass. Because fuck that. There's just certain things you just, But what you think?
What do I think?
What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they should have let the belt go a long time ago. I mean, if you want to have a U.S. belt so bad, you know, just make another one.
It should have been defended in the U.S. I can call it a U.S. title, and it's not defended in the U.S. or anywhere.
And you know, we know that New Japan had plans to spread over here and do their thing, and everything got fucked because of COVID. Yeah, but you know, you gotta call an audible.
Exactly. I really do hope that the limit is. I really hope the limit is simply just this title and nothing more.
I doesn't branch out into other shit.
Kenta winning the title, it ain't even gonna. I promise you, Kenta winning, he ain't gonna look happy. No, he ain't gonna look happy. He'll be like, I won. Japanese dude, because over here he's the gaijin. You know, I won this title, and that's about it. And shit, in Japan they win that, you know, the Intercontinental title, and they look like they won something. You know, They win the tag titles. People who love tag team wrestling, they look like they won something. Anybody else is like, yeah, we got it, we leaving. Kenta gonna win this belt. He gonna look like, well, I'm holding some material in my hand. I guess I'm going home. And they're gonna be like, I'll be like, keep your COVID ass over there. Oh man, I don't know. I'm a little curious to how they're gonna try to work all this. I'm a little curious. I hope it's what you said, Cedra.
I hope so too.
That's the greatest silver lining. Him win it, go home, quarantine, then
Get back to business.
Get back to business. With this new guy in charge of New Japan,
Whoever it is.
I don't think it's going to change the booking, but so much. I don't think it's going to change too much. God, they won tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
Kota Ibushi did what we thought he would do.
Mm-hmm.
So Naito was practically just a half-assed transitional champion, and they didn't even break up the belts. I mean, it sucks to predict shit 7 and 8 months in advance.
But see, the belts aren't together.
They aren't together, but they are together.
They're together on the same person, but they're not unified. And I hope they stick with what Naito wanted to do. Naito wanted to defend them separately, and I think I have to look at that. I wonder if he did.
He probably did.
Because it was 2 nights. Because it was Wrestle Kingdom was 2 nights.
But I just I don't know. I leave it up to y'all, the listeners out there, y'all, because I there's a lot that I do, a lot that I gotta do, and a lot that I love to do. And so y'all post something and let me see something. I'm like, oh shit, that. So Alzanta, looking at you, Zemo times 2 looking at you, y'all.
Zemo 12.
Let me know what's up. Y'all got something y'all want me to talk about, or you got a question about my thoughts on. I don't care if it's just a simple wrestling move. My thoughts on it, and it's all good. Content is content, and sort of talking to you. It's sort of something I look forward to. That's just me though. Maybe I'm asking too much. I don't know. But it's an interactive thing, and that's kind of what I like. I like interactive, and I like co-op. So, I don't really have much else to say on this.
That's it.
So yeah, so I'm just This has been Cedric and Cedra for CR Wrestling on our thoughts on New Japan Pro Wrestling work with AEW. And if you got any questions or comments or whatnot, put them down there in the comment section. You know how we get down. And if the comment is specific enough to something, then I'll probably do something on it. I'm going to work on doing short ones. When we haven't done something in a long time, that's when we do the long ones. But if I can do something once a week or something like that, then I'll be like, all right, it'll be like 5 minutes or so, or maybe 10 minutes or less. But this is just saying, look, it's been a while. I'm trying to make up for the time a little bit, So with that said, thank you for your time, your patience, and your energy. And most important, thank you for listening and your comments. Good night.